Hey, what's up everyone? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review we are looking at the DC Superheroes Supergirl. I'm not certain, I forgot to look, I don't know if this figure was ever released in the DCUC line. I'm pretty sure it was, but I just forgot to confirm that. I know this was a DCSH figure though, that's where I got mine. Unless I'm totally losing it, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I'll check, I guess, and I'll update the video. There's too many figures to keep everything straight, but this is a very nice rendition of Supergirl. She stands just over 6 inches tall, so she's a little bit shorter than some of the DCUC figures, and I think that's okay. It's pretty appropriate for the character. They did some pretty nice things on this figure. The head sculpt is great. She looks a little bit old, I think, older than she probably should, but it's not so much so that it's a huge problem. The paint application on the face is really good. They did a very nice job with that, and the hair sculpt, I absolutely love the hair sculpt, and they did a really nice job painting it. Sorry, my hand's so shaky. And then they sculpted the S emblem, or I guess it's not technically an S, the S emblem on her chest, and it's painted well enough. All of the collar and the waist, those are sculpted. The sleeve ends are sculpted, so that's good. Of course, the skirt is sculpted, and then the boots are all sculpted, so there's nothing that's just a simple paint line, which is always very nice. And she has kind of a nicely done cape. It's really folded up, but it works well for this figure. You know, you guys probably know by now that I'm not a huge fan of asymmetrical capes, but it works for this figure because it matches the hair, and it's still kind of lined up well. I mean, it does hang out over here, but it's not like it's just completely swept. I don't know if I'm describing it well enough. I guess because it's still here, I don't know, it doesn't bother me as much for whatever reason. It is a soft plastic, so I like that. I do wish it wasn't quite so glossy, but it's not a big deal. As far as articulation goes, the head basically just swivels. You don't get very much of the up and down at all. You can lean it a little bit side to side, but not a whole lot. Standard ball hinge shoulders with a bicep swivel. Single jointed elbow give you about 90 degrees. Each wrist has a swivel. No ab crunch on this figure, just a swivel at that torso joint, so it's kind of ugly, but as long as you don't go too far, it doesn't look too bad, and it's not a horrible situation. We have kind of like ball hinge hips, so they are T-jointed. You can bring them straight forward, but the skirt's fairly thick and it gets in the way. You can bring them all the way out to the side, but again, the skirt gets in the way. We have a thigh swivel up in there also. Single jointed knee give you about 90 degrees. We have an ankle pivot. Doesn't go very far forward, but it goes decent back. And then technically there's an ankle rocker. You don't get a huge range of motion, but it is there. So there it is, guys. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can see my upcoming figure reviews, custom figures, and other good stuff. Enjoy a slideshow of some poses of this figure, and in the meantime, keep collecting.